head. Why do I get this feeling of deja vu? Oh, that's right. Because what is happening in the new update has happened in year 1, back when the House of Wolves dropped. Oddly enough, the main content that dropped was led by the characters of the Reef, and everything now is either straight from Prison of Elders or is directly tied to the Reef. This update even came out around the same time that House of Wolves did. The new quest is led by Varix, Petra has a PlayStation exclusive quest line, and we even have a new Prison of Elders. Heck, there's even a new taken version of the Archon Priest Strike, which is connected to the Reef, as they were the ones who originally contained the Archon Priest before he was released again. I have my beef with this update because it destroys the grind that Destiny is and completely wastes all of the time that we have spent in the last couple of months. But I'll save that for another video. In this video, I'll show you how to reach the new 335 light cap quick and easy. Now, I know that this is a little late as this is day 5 of the update at this time of recording, but my friend list still shows that a video like this still has a lot of meaning to make. At the time of writing this script, I was among the top 50 players, and I was as high as rank 12 in the world for light at one time. Here's a snapshot of me being rank 14. So, let's get into it, shall we? Before we begin, there are a few changes to light building in this update. Drops are now built to try to give you a light that is higher than the light that you had when you obtained that item. For example, say you are 320, just starting the new update for the first time. You have an Exotic Engram and you decrypt it. The item that you get should be in a range of +5 light of your current light of 320, so it should yield a 321 to 325 item. Most likely, you'll get a 223 item. Legendary engrams now drop up to 310, so after that they won't really be able to help you, and the level 41 Prison of Elders drops up to 320 gear, as well as King's Fall's normal. These should be used to first get to 320 before you use any other methods to gain light. The following activities can drop up to 330 light: the weekly Nightfall Strike, faction reward packages, and the Trials of Osiris bounties. You can get drops up to 335 from the following activities: the Prison of Elders challenge ticket, the Crucible weekly True Meaning of War bounty, the Court of Oryx tier 3 artifacts, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, unique items from Vanguard Heroic Strike playlist, Exotic Engrams, and the King's Fall Heroic Modes raid. So let's talk about these drops. There are some ways to effectively use them, as well as some very ineffective ways to use them. Again, let's look at this as a 320 character. Doing a Hero King's Fall raid will give you loot of a higher level, but this is a waste of a drop, as you could get these drops with an activity that you can repeat. So there are 3 different types of drops that can get you to 335 light, or building steps to 335. These are unlimited resources, reusable resources, and limited resources. Unlimited resources are drops that you can get from various activities repeatedly, and you can get them any time of the week and still get drops that will or might help you. Reusable resources are drops that you have to work for, but you can get an unlimited amount of these throughout the week. Finally, limited resources are drops that you can only get once per character. Let's talk about unlimited resources first, as they should be what you want to focus on before you use other things. There are also enough different drops from these that you should be able to grind up some light levels before you need to use other resources to continue leveling up. These are the Challenge of Elders post drops, Court of Oryx tier 3s, and unique specific loot from the Vanguard Heroic Strike playlist. The Challenge of Elders can give you the 3 Prison of Elders special exotics, the Queensbreaker's Bow, the Dreg's Promise, and the Lord of Wolves exotics, as well as the Consumed Ghost Shell and a class item. All of these can yield up to 335 light, so depending on the light of the drops, you can easily get a couple of levels just from doing the 42 Prison of Elders before you need to do another activity to gain more light. You'll only have to run through and kill the bosses each round, and you don't need to worry about the score. You can easily complete a run in 5 to 9 minutes. Also, popping a House of Judgment reputation boost increases the chances of getting these drops. Each time you get an item, just equip it or infuse it, as you will be able to wear it, as none of it will be able to drop outside of your class. You will keep getting levels, increasing your light of the drops for the next level that you gain. After a while, you'll see that all of your other gear will be behind your Prison of Elders challenge drops. So you will now need to use another method to get more light. Switch over to the Court of Orcs and pop some tier 3 ruins. These will drop legendary artifacts that can yield up to 335 light, depending on your light. Again, remember the +5. After you get the highest that you can from your current light, or something close to it, go back to prison or start to use other methods to get more drops. The last unlimited resource is the strike-specific loot that you can get from the Vanguard heroic strikes. This, however, is not a very effective source of drops, as the drop rates for these items are rather low. If you are going for it, keep your Vanguard streak going and pop a Vanguard reputation boost if you have it. This will also increase your chances of getting drops. Also, don't forget to pick up any reputation reward packages you get while doing so. These will not stack, so edge it out before you leave. With the reputation boost, you get 200 reputation for the House of Judgment for a completed run of the Prison of Elders challenge, as well as around 500 reputation for a strike, so these will come pretty fast. Next, we have the reusable resources. These are activities that can give you drops, but they take a little bit longer to complete, and not just from one activity. These are reputation reward packages and the trials bounties. The reputation reward packages you can get from nearly every activity, but they take time and reputation to get. These will come easy from the Prison of Elders and strike grind of the unlimited resources if you have the reputation boost. This is also including the Crucible. These will drop up to 330 light and will help you reach 335 light, so don't forget about them. The reason why trials bounties are included in this list is because you can complete them and turn in the His Eyes Upon You bounty 4 times each week, which can yield a 330 drop. This can either be a weapon or piece of gear. Iron Banner, when available, will also fall into this category. Finally, we have the limited resources. These are drops that you can only get once a week on each character. This includes the Nightfall, the weekly Crucible True Meaning of War bounty, the King's Fall Heroic Mode, the Prison of Elders Passage Challenge ticket, the Lighthouse, and the Trials of Osiris drops, and finally Exotic Engrams. These are the order in which I think you should complete them, / turn them in order to achieve the most efficient light, while also filling the voids with unlimited and reusable resources. So, say you do the raid, and your special, weapon, ghost, class item, or artifact are now holding you back. Go back and get those through the Prison of Elders or Court of Orcs Tier 3 ruins. Before you continue with the raid, or any other limited resources, buff these back up to your current light, or even a higher light, so you don't waste your drops. The Nightfall now yields up to 330 light, so you'll want to do this earlier when you get around 225 light. Next up, we have the True Meaning of War bounty, which can now drop up to 335 light. When you do these, you are ready for the King's Fall Heroic Hard mode. This is where you get most of your drops, as everything can now drop up to 335 light. Unlike the previous weeks, however, these drops now depend on your light. So going into a raid at 320 will not be as helpful as going into a 325. So going into the raid at a light level of 320 will not be too helpful, as you might only lead the raid as a 325. When Trials drops, this is an activity that you can do at any time. Post-game drops can yield high light up to 335, especially at 5 and 7 wins on your first passage, or when you would finally achieve these. Finally, the Lighthouse will earn you some nice drops up to 335 light. The Prison of Elders Passage Challenge ticket yields a single weapon and gear piece for completing the high score and cumulative score respectively. These drop up to 335 light, so you will want to wait until you are a higher light to turn these in. Finally, we have the Exotic Engrams, which should be used as a last resort. Fine-tune your light. Once you are in the range of 330 to 333 light, you should be using the Prison of Elders and Court of Orcs to get to 334 light. Then use your Exotic Engrams to get your missing pieces of gear. This is what I didn't do, as I turned in all of my engrams all at once without using them properly. And because of this, I did not hit 335 light on the first day set phase. At 334, these engrams will earn you either 334 light or 335 light drops. So let's hope you didn't get 334 bones of EOs 3 times in a row like me. Well, there you have it. I hope this helps you guys get to 335 light nice and fast. So good hunting out there, Guardians, and may the odds be ever in your favor.